adapting a book is always tricky. You always want to not just please the people who already read the book, you also want to please the people who didn't read the book but knows that this is a good book, and they expect a good storytelling, they expect a good cinematography and good good acting and all this stuff. So it's a very tricky thing when you take a very known, unique story and then produce it as a film or a TV series, rather than a very famous, very well-known book or story and then adapt it. So it's a tricky thing, but people tend to work with this kind of stuff, and then they actually succeed. And one of those books getting an adaptation, and people are a little skeptical about this because a lot of people are very excited to see this becoming a TV series, and a huge group and another huge group is very cautious and very suspicious about time planes are. A lot of people very suspicious about whether this is going to be a well adapted TV series, because they have a high expectation of the story, they have a high expectation for the book. So seeing that book becoming a TV series is an alarming question for that part of the audience. So let's watch the trailer. Let's see. I'm one of those guys who didn't watch or didn't read the book, so I have no idea what the story is. I'll be watching the trailer. I'll be trying to understand what the actual story is from this trailer alone, and then I'll try to address what's unique about it, what's good about it, what's bad about it, and then let's just talk about it. This is AbirReact. Welcome back to my channel.
When I was a child at the edge of the galaxy, I heard stories about a man who could forecast the future. But the story remained dark to me until many years later, until it became my story. Until it became the only story.
You're familiar with my work, psychohistory?
Every mathematician has read your theory.
It's not a theory. It's the future of mankind expressed in numbers. And the Empire won't like the future I predict.
History is littered with charlatans and false messiahs.
We should kill them. We could murder the man, but what about the movement, brother? Martyrs tend to have a long half-life.
His math was right. The Empire is dying.
Wars will be endless. 1,000 worlds reduced to cinders.
Change is frightening. Especially
Was that Scott Atkins?
But we can soften the fall.
So what's the plan?
Many years from now, if humanity is to climb from the ashes, the coming generations will need the knowledge to build upon, a foundation.
We must preserve only the most essential pieces of civilization. Deciding what is remembered, what is forgotten.
We are now staring down a barrel of a crisis.
This is the plan. We're not turning around now.
Okay, I think I saw Scott Adkins, and maybe it was wrong, but for some moment I thought I saw him. Anyway, let's talk about the visuals. Visually, it looks stunning. It was a great cinematography experience just in the trailer, and I really hope that they continue this in the series as well. And the story of the humanities in ending, and the way they are trying to preserve the knowledge that we have right now, and to pass it down to other civilization that will emerge from that crisis, and then some people who don't want that crisis to be publicized, and other people should not worship the person who's predicting those things. And they want to save their empire as well. They want this entire thing to be as quiet as possible. So all this stuff, this politics, this visual storytelling, this action sequences, the thrilling, everything that comes out of a book, you put it in a film, and you have to work really, really hard to pull them all together, to tie them all together. And I think in the trailer they actually showed a sign that they did it, and that's why I think this is going to be one of those amazing stories, an amazing TV series that just came out and that just blew everyone's mind. I remember that's what happened with Game of Thrones, because a huge number of people watched read this book, and when it came out, and the story, this series totally overperformed itself, and it became a classic. It became a huge production, a huge TV series throughout the world for a long, long period of time. And there's also The Witcher that became a games. People read the book before it became a video games, but people loved video games, and there are a huge number of people who loved this franchise, and now it's becoming a TV series now. So we have seen some good book adaptation, but there are very, very much bad book adaptation as well. And there's some comment section that says that it was produced by someone who's not so fondly with good projects. So I hope that it's not the case, because visually it looks amazing. Storytelling looks great. Dialogues were very good. The cast looks promising and very strong. And the story looks, obviously it looks very well. You have a story to work with, and that's why I think it's going to do just fine. Another thing that I want to talk about is the except the visual, there are some kind of VFX works done there, and it looks like it's going to be one of those TV series with film quality VFX works. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to, because you see there are so many great TV series or web series out there who have great stories and great acting sequences, great dialogues, but when the VFX work comes, they show their choppiness, and it looks like they could have done a little bit better job at it. I think Foundation is where you see that they are not doing that. They're actually looking towards that as well. They're doing this very carefully. It looks like a movie tier, and I'm really glad they did it, because when you have all those stuff and then you use cheap or unrealistic and very bad kind of VFX on it, it kind of drag you down, and I'm really glad that they didn't do that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this reaction video. I hope you like it. I'll be seeing you in the next video as well. Until then, I'll take a leave.